So in this video, we're going to be discussing Patrick Mahomes, and we're going to just give a breakdown of his whole life and starting from high school. So in high school, Patrick Mahomes played three sports. He played football, obviously, basketball, and baseball. But what a lot of people don't know is Patrick Mahomes was actually a very, very good baseball player. He could have either made it to the MLB or the NFL, but Patrick Mahomes, he made the right decision, and he chose the NFL. So Mahomes was just a very athletic athlete, played basketball and baseball at a very high level. And it really was like football wasn't really his main sport. It was like he honestly didn't expect himself to even be an NFL player because he was so good at basketball and baseball as well. So he didn't know that he was going to really be a quarterback at a high level. Like he didn't know that was ever going to happen. And another thing they said about Patrick Mahomes in high school was that he wasn't really a mechanical quarterback. Like, he wasn't a mechanical quarterback. He wasn't going to be able to play at that D1 level. But Mahomes ended up getting that starting role in high school. And Ryan Chatham, right? Ryan Chatham was the quarterback. He was a very good quarterback. And he was who was playing over Patrick Mahomes at first. But then Patrick Mahomes ended up getting that starting spot and proved that he could keep that starting spot. And the crazy thing is, Patrick Mahomes and Ryan Chatham, they was also both pitchers on their baseball team. So they was really competing against each other. But when Mahomes got that starting spot, he led the Wildcats to a 38-33 win. And that just goes to show you that Mahomes always been a competitor. He always been a leader. He always been a winner. And the junior year, that's when Mahomes really started showing his athleticism. There was plays where he ran around 40 yards into the backfield and literally threw a long touchdown. And Mahomes' bag was honestly crazy. It was honestly crazy, and the talent and athleticism was always there as a quarterback. That's honestly why Patrick Mahomes has had to choose football. I mean, he had to, man. The way he could just extend and make plays, you can see right there, like he always was able to make plays, even in high school, do them sidearm throws, extend the play and make these crazy passes and these acrobatic passes. He was always able to do this since high school. So, like, quarterback was obviously the perfect option for him. These throws while he's on his way to the floor. Like, Patrick Mahomes is just a one-of-one talent, and you don't find talent like this. And he's really something different, and he's really special, man. And this is his high school. This is high school we're talking about. Now we're going to get into some of his high school stats. So Patrick Mahomes, like I said, man, he played football, basketball, and baseball. But one thing Mahomes said is that his training and pitching and playing basketball improved his quarterback skills. So Patrick Mahomes had 4,619 passing yards, 50 passing touchdowns, almost 1,000 rushing yards, and 15 rushing touchdowns as a senior in high school. And in baseball, he threw a no-hitter with 16 strikeouts in a game in his senior year. So Patrick Mahomes was named the Max Preps Athlete of the Year. And yeah, man, he was just good in football and baseball. He even made it to the MLB. I know that sounds crazy, but yes, he made it to the MLB. Selected 37th overall by the Detroit Tigers, but he didn't sign a contract. So now that we're done touching on his high school career, we're going to be getting into his college career at Texas Tech. And then after that, we're going to be proceeding to get into his NFL career. So Mahomes committed to Texas Tech, and he entered his freshman season at Texas Tech as a backup to Davis Webb. He played his first career game against Oklahoma State after Webb left the game with an injury, and he only had 2 of 5 passes completed for 20 yards with 1 touchdown and interception. But Webb got injured again, so Mahomes started his first career game against Texas. He had 13 out of 21 passes completed with 109 yards in the game, and he remained the starter for the season's final 3 games. And against Baylor, he threw for a Big 12 freshman record with 600 yards, with 6 touchdowns and 1 interception. And that's when people started to realize, okay, Patrick Mahomes is going to be very good. He also played with the Texas Tech baseball team where he was a relief pitcher. But now let's get into his sophomore season. So Mahomes' sophomore season at Texas Tech as a starting quarterback, he led the Red Raiders to a 7-6 season, and he had some very good numbers. He recorded 10 games going over 350 passing yards, including 4 games going over 400. And he passed for at least 3 touchdowns in 8 of the games, including a 5-touchdown performance against Iowa State. And that just goes to show you that Patrick Mahomes was going to go to the NFL. He was a very talented quarterback in college. And overall, in the 2015 season, he led the Big 12 Conference with 364 pass completions on 573 attempts for 4,653 yards with 36 touchdowns and 15 interceptions. So those are very good numbers in college. Very good numbers. Very good. And then let's get into his junior year. This is when Mahomes really went crazy. He had a very productive junior season, and he passed for 18 touchdowns. Now, this is only of September. He passed for 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions while rushing for 4 touchdowns. And he averaged 442 passing yards per game that month, which included a 540-yard game against Arizona State. So Patrick Mahomes was literally throwing for crazy numbers, and that just goes to show you that he was going to go to the NFL. He was going to be a very good quarterback if he was put with the right coach and the right system. And he was setting multiple records, man, multiple records. He broke the NCAA FBS record for single game total offense with 819 yards. He tied the NCAA record for single game passing yards with 734. So Patrick Mahomes, man, he was making history in college, and that only continued to translate into the NFL. And then he finished the season with 5,052 passing yards with 5,312 total offense yards and 53 total touchdowns. So Patrick Mahomes, man, he was looking like he was going to be a very talented quarterback. And yeah, man. Now we're going to be getting to what we know best, Patrick Mahomes' NFL career. We're going to be touching on from 2017 all the way to 2023. So in 2017, Patrick Mahomes was drafted by the Kansas City Chiefs after they traded up for him. But he didn't start off rip. He sat behind Alex Smith and he learned a lot of things. So on Thursdays, Alex Smith did something called QB dinner. QB dinner. So it was an invite only, and you literally had to be a QB, right? So basically what Alex Smith did with Mahomes, he would just bond with him. He would bond with him, take him out to QB dinners. They'll watch film. They'll do some workouts, just film review sessions, and just make Mahomes feel welcome. Make him feel welcome. And Alex Smith was basically saying how he was very surprised about how Mahomes had all this athleticism. He slung past his sidearm, ran all over it, and launched some passes halfway down the field. And after the dinner, the quarterbacks would head back to team headquarters for a late film review session. And they also would head down to the locker room for a game of horse. But instead of horse, they called it CHIEFS, meaning Chiefs. So Alex Smith was basically like a big brother to Patrick Mahomes, and just made him feel welcome into the team. And this only helped with Patrick Mahomes' development and made him develop more quicker, because Alex Smith is a very good quarterback, and when you're sitting behind him and you're very talented and athletic, then he's gonna help you. And Patrick Mahomes was just welcomed, man. He was automatically welcomed, and this helped a lot. But now we're gonna be touching into the 2018 season. So in Patrick Mahomes' first game of the NFL, he threw for 256 yards with 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. Then the next game, 326 yards with 6 touchdowns with no interceptions. Then 300 and 3 with no interceptions. Then another 300, another 300. So Patrick Mahomes literally threw for like 1, 2, 3. He literally threw like 8 games straight with 300 yards. So he literally had a 478-yard game against the Rams with 6 TDs and 3 interceptions. So Patrick Mahomes was showing a very promising future, and he had 5,100 passing yards with 50 TDs and 12 interceptions, and he won his first league MVP, and he led the Kansas City Chiefs to the AFC Championship against the Patriots, where he would lose in overtime. So then in 2019, Patrick Mahomes, he had a solid season, 4,000 yards, 26 CDs with 5 interceptions, but he didn't play the full year. But this year is when he would go on and beat the San Francisco 49ers to get his first Super Bowl win. And then the year after that, they went to the Super Bowl again, but he lost to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He had another good season with 4,700 yards with 38 TDs and 6 intos. And then the year after that was a very rocky season, man. He started off pretty bad, but he ended off pretty solid. And then he went on and went crazy against the Buffalo Bills, but went on to lose to the Cincinnati Bengals. And then the year after that is when he changed everything. Patrick Mahomes had a new team. He lost Tyreek Hill, and he had to prove haters wrong, man. And this year is when he absolutely went crazy. His best year ever. 5,250 yards with 41 TDs and 12 intros. 358 rushing with 4 rushing TDs, breaking the total yardage record, passing Drew Brees, winning another league MVP, and winning a Super Bowl ring in the same year. So Patrick Mahomes made history, and it just goes to show you how good of a player he is. And he's going to be a very good player for years to come, and I can't wait to make more videos on him. And man, it's just a good time to be a Kansas City Chiefs fan, and you have to be happy to have a player like Patrick Mahomes. But if you enjoyed this video, my next video is going to be Isaiah Pacheco, same exact video, just like this, but with Isaiah Pacheco. And I'm sorry I'm talking kind of different. I'm very sick right now, but I still had to get y'all some content. It's been your boy Chiefs Priority, and I'm out, man.